Welcome back now for some political reaction to the attack in San Bernardino from two Republican presidential candidates, Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina and Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky. Senator Paul is here in studio, so I'm going to start with you. Senator, I want to get you to respond to something Marco Rubio said. He just said the following: a week ago, we were still able to see the phone records of a potential terrorist cause. We held them. Now you have to hope the phone company still has them. You have to argue with their chief counsel by the time you get access to it and try to find out who they've been talking to before it's too late. You were on the forefront of trying to change this law. Any second thoughts?
Well, you know, if Senator Rubio were doing his job and in Congress more, he might know that the program continues. It's been ongoing for the last 6 months. So the Paris tragedy, this tragedy, happened while we were still doing bulk collection, all bulk collection. Also in France, they have a program 1,000-fold more invasive, collecting all of the data of all the French. And yet they still weren't able to see this coming. So my question is, how much liberty do we want to give up for a false sense of security? The government has investigated our program of collecting through a generalized fashion everyone's phone records in the country, and they've found that no terrorist case has been thwarted through this.
What will you do? What would you do if you're president tonight? The president's going to address the nation. What would you say to the country to make them feel safer? Because right now this idea of a lone wolf doesn't make me feel any safer.
I think what we've had in the past is the government has said, well, we need to collect the whole haystack. And the haystack is Americans' privacy, every American's privacy. We have to give up all of our privacy. Well, what I'd like to do is make the haystack smaller. So I think that we have to be very careful about who comes here from the Middle East. And I've introduced legislation to say, for right now, let's stop it from about 34 countries.
It's a version of profiling.
Well, people who want to come to this country don't have constitutional rights. Once they get here, they do. But coming here is not a constitutional right. So we do, as a nation, have the ability and should have the ability to decide who comes here and when they come here. Right now, we don't know who is here. The woman that was admitted, that ended up being married to this terrorist, I don't think she was properly vetted. I think she came here, and I don't think we adequately knew enough about her. And I think also there's some indication that the papers she filed to come here were a lie to begin with. So I don't think we're doing an adequate vetting process of those who are coming to our country.
Do you think this visa program, whether it's a fiancé visa, student visas, tourist visas, I mean, any terrorists that have come here and committed acts from 9/11 to this woman have come here in some form of a visa.
Right.
How in jeopardy is this program?
This is where the big problem is. We have 11 million people said to be in our country illegally. 40% of them are said to have overstayed their visa. Do we know where they are? There's 150,000 students here from the Middle East. If 40% of them have overstayed their visa, don't we need to know where they are, what they're doing, are they obeying our rules? And so what I'm asking for, let's make the haystack smaller. Let's say for a while, until we can figure out who's coming, who's going, and who's overstayed their visa, let's have extra scrutiny and figure out what's going on, because there's a whole segment of the world that is intent on sending people here to attack us.
These folks accumulated quite the arsenal. Is there any federal regulation you would support that would try to figure out a way to regulate how much of an arsenal somebody could have in their garage?
Well, interestingly, they accumulated this arsenal in California that has 10-day waiting period, has no private sale of guns. Every gun regulation that President Obama has advocated for, California has already, and it didn't stop this. I think ultimately that the rules that you make for gun control, people who are intent on killing themselves aren't too concerned with the rules. Law-abiding citizens are. The other thing to realize is that almost all these shootings, including this shooting, happened in a government building where people are not allowed to defend themselves. While it's not the ultimate answer would be no violence. Part of the answer is saying we need to allow people to defend themselves.
So you'd like to get rid of these no carry rules?
Yeah.
All right, Senator Paul, I'm going to leave it there.
Thank you,
sir. Stay safe.